Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we got another sad story to talk about, man. And I don't know what's going on in the hip hop world, and trust and believe, I hope this news isn't true. But it's being reported that Free Band's rapper, Atlanta rap sensation, Young Scooter, was shot in downtown Atlanta, right outside the NCAA tournament, man, which is going crazy, man, on news right now. A lot of people are already sending their condolences or whatnot. You have local news reporting one thing and leaving the name out. Then you've got social media saying it was Young Scooter. So, man, a lot of people don't know what to believe. I don't know if this is factual, but I see it is being reported, so that's what I'm going to go off of, man. The crazy part about this is I feel like Young Scooter is one of those Atlanta artists and talents that didn't get recognized for his contributions to hip-hop as much as he should have, man. And I hate to be speaking about him in past tense because we haven't 100% been confirmed from an official news source that Young Scooter lost his life. But what we're going to do is we're going to get to these reports that talk about what allegedly took place and what went down today with Young Scooter allegedly in Atlanta, man. Now, before we get to that, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that notification bell. And, man, let's get it. All right, so this is the first official news source that I saw. Now, this is still, it's a news story, but they might just be going off of what's being reported out there on social media, man, because they do reference in the report, I should say, several different news sources that might have something else to say about this situation or that are withholding details right now. But it seems like a lot of information for this point is being scarce. But right here is a story where it said, what happened to Young Scooter? Atlanta rapper reportedly shot. Details. So it goes into talking about Young Scooter, and we're going to get to it, man. It's basically saying it's a developing story, but I'm going to go to the news story that they reference, but let's check this out. Now, it starts off by saying this. It says, Atlanta-based rapper Young Scooter was reportedly shot in Atlanta, Georgia on Friday. The shooting was reported just blocks from State Farm Arena, where the NCAA tournament is being played, and one person was shot in it as per Fox 5 Atlanta. So basically, they're referring this report to Fox 5 Atlanta. We'll check out that report as well. But they're saying this had taken place right outside of the State Farm Arena where the NCAA tournament is being played. Now, in a situation like that, where you're in downtown, kind of what we see with this whole Sauce Walker situation, you don't expect these things to happen in these downtown areas by these stadiums and by these arenas, because there's one thing for sure. They're going to have cameras all over the place when you start talking about stadiums and arenas, man. It's almost a no-win situation. And from the reports of it, I don't know if it was a shootout, but it doesn't seem like it. It looks like somebody was shooting at somebody, and that somebody who lost their life in the shooting is reported to be Young Scooter, which is crazy, man, because Scooter, man, he was really one of those cats I really felt like all it needed was just one more step for him to really go to the mainstream, even though he did big things. Don't get me wrong, man. And falling under Future ain't the wrong way to go. And he always put on the Free Bands mixtapes and things like that. He did his thing. And him linking up with Gucci Mane, Yo God. He's done a lot of big things, man, in the rap game. For real. And I meant to say Dolph, but dude, he really put it down, especially for that part of the South. He reportedly was supposed to be celebrating his 39th birthday this weekend, man. So similar to the Julio Fulio situation where celebrating his birthday weekend, and this time he's in his hometown of Atlanta. And they're saying that he lost his life during the weekend of his birthday, man. That's a sad situation, man. That's horrible. You hate to see that for his family, his kids. They all got my condolences, man. Because Young Scooter was definitely one of those people who was out there pushing his kids, was very opinionated about a lot of the things that go on in hip-hop and hip-hop culture. And dude really, really was a cool, laid-back type of guy, too. So it's wild, man, that Young Scooter would be reported as being the person who was shot in this situation. It's almost like that saying goes, it's always the coolest catch, you know what I mean? Now, Young Scooter was definitely known for his affiliations with Future and his whole east side of Atlanta and locking his side of town down or whatnot, man. I remember he was the very first person who was really pushing that American flag apparel, like wearing the American flag on a lot of his clothes and things like that, and to represent his neighborhood. And that used to confuse people or whatnot. I remember they did a whole Noisy documentary. They talked to young Scooter, and he was first talking about being amigo and stuff like that, and they couldn't catch the lingo. But man, dude was really, really changing the culture out there, and he really, really helped to change the culture in Atlanta. So hopefully he gets recognized for that if these reports prove to be true. But man, let's look at the official news story that's out there and what's being reported. Okay, so you see the headline in this report here. Now, this is from the local Fox 5 affiliate down there in Atlanta, Georgia, and it says this: deadly shooting reported blocks from NCAA tournament at State Farm Arena. So this is the same exact shooting that they were talking about. And even though it's nighttime out there, it's still relatively early for these activities to usually happen. But I mean, let's be real. The whole Sauce Walker thing that with Sayso P, that happened in broad daylight. So I mean, I'm just to the point where I'm not even surprised anymore, man. And can we at least get to the summer without all this shooting and craziness going on in the hip hop world? Like, why it always got to be an off year, an on year, or 2 on years where it's just rappers getting shot back to back to back to back? It's already starting off crazy, man, and we barely into the year. Like I said, we ain't even into summer yet. And you know how summer gets, but man, let's continue with the report. All right, so the report says the brief. A deadly shooting occurred near State Farm Arena in downtown Atlanta, coinciding with the start of the NCAA Sweet 16 basketball tournament. So it looks like the Sweet 16 is starting. Everybody is geared up. I know the SEC is repping hard, so it's a lot of people down there in the South who are probably traveling to watch their favorite team in college play because, they got real hardcore fan bases. But, man, it's crazy that these two things coincide with the fact that young Scooter was having his birthday party. I mean, with all that traffic and stuff, he was probably about to have a time too, man. Sad to hear that. Now, the next statement is the victim, a male with a gunshot wound, was found by police and was rushed in critical condition at a hospital. He later died, man. Craziness, man. Now, they're saying that was young Scooter that passed away. He was the one that ended up dying from this situation, which is crazy. Now, the investigation is ongoing with no suspects identified or arrests made and no immediate link to the NCAA tournament. So basically, all they know at this point is they don't have any suspects, and they don't even know if they could identify anybody at this point. I'm pretty sure they're looking at the cameras and stuff like that, trying to get what they can get. But they know that it's not attached or any way connected to the NCAA tournament, which is, of course, not. You know what I mean? Now, I hate to say of course not, but usually a shooting like this is crazy. It's just pure craziness. So normally that has nothing to do with the sports world, because the sports world seems to keep in its own corner where we like it. Safe, sports, fun stuff, man. But sometimes the hip-hop world and the sports world, coincide. But we hate for something like this to be an incident where that happens. Now, it goes on to say that police are investigating a deadly shooting just blocks away from the State Farm Arena, where Sweet 16 of the NCAA college basketball tournament is getting underway. What we know, the shooting was reported around 6:45 p.m. Friday near the intersection of Lucky and Mills Street. According to Atlanta Police Department, officers arrived on the scene to find a male with an apparent gunshot wound. Now, what in the world is going on? Now, was he in his car or something? Like, why in the world would young Scooter just be left there by himself and he wouldn't be with his crew or anybody with him, man? This is starting to sound real suspect, man. I'm going to keep it real. If this is young Scooter that they're talking about, the fact that he was just left there with a gunshot wound, dying from a gunshot wound, none of his crew, every time you see young Scooter, he's rolling deep. And those free band guys, they roll deep. And a lot of those cats, man, in Atlanta, they roll deep. And there's always a good reason to roll deep, man, anywhere you go. I suggest, if you're a rapper, roll as deep as possible. I don't care what nobody say. They used to make jokes about homeboy security. Have you some real security, homeboy security, all that, man. Some Navy SEALs, everything, man. If you're a rapper in this day and age, man, have you your own little army. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how you're going to pay for it because that sounds expensive, but regardless, you'll probably be safe. It'll be a less of a chance that something bad will go and you end up on the bad end of the stick, man. But from this situation and what they're saying, maybe he was with some people and they called the police or called 911 and that's when they found him. But this sounds bad, you know what I mean? Now, he was rushed to the area hospital in critical condition. Police say he later died from his injuries, so obviously repeating what was said before. Now, this is one of the news ladies who works there, and this is what she put on social media. And let's see if we can make that bigger, right? Okay, so these are the pictures that they have on social media of the crime scene. So you can see that that's the street that they were talking about, blocked off because there was a shooting. And the way Atlanta's been lately, I mean, this is probably business as usual for them. You know what I mean? And this looks like right there is a sign for Lucky Street. It looks like Atlanta police are blocking this off too. There was some sort of parking area. I'm wondering what was going on. Maybe he was leaving that area right there with the parking or something like that. But we'll get more details, man. There's a hotel right there, a Hyatt house, but nothing more you can see. So it says in the caption that one man was killed in a shooting just blocks from the State Farm Arena where the NCAA tournament is being played. They already talked about the fact that the NCAA tournament, they believe, is not connected, obviously, to this situation. But this is wild, man. What do you think? I mean, you don't get much from these pictures besides what you see. A couple of downtown hotels, and that's it, man. I don't know. I'm pretty sure more details will come out, but as of now, this is what they're showing, and that's the scene where young Scooter got killed or was shot and ended up eventually losing his life, according to these reports. Okay, and here's another news story from the 11 Alive news there, and pretty much they said the same thing, but a lot of the information in here, some of the information is different. So it says this. It says police are investigating a deadly shooting in downtown Atlanta Friday evening. According to Atlanta Police Department, officers responded to the intersection of Lucky Street Northwest and Mill Street Northwest, where they found a 42-year-old man suffering from an apparent gunshot wound. The man was transported to the hospital, but was pronounced dead shortly after, police said. And that's another picture of the scene. I guess that's the ambulance that they loaded young Scooter into, if this was young Scooter, you know, based off of the reports, if they're factual, and took him to Grady, you know what I mean? So that's all that they have there. Now, the only difference I can see is that the reporting of young Scooter's age. Like, some people said that he was 39, other people report him as 42. I mean, his industry age could be 39, you never know. But regardless, this is a sad situation. All right, y'all tell me what y'all think about this situation, man. Hopefully this isn't true, but if it is, rest in peace to young Scooter, man. Your contributions to hip-hop will always be appreciated, man. And your contributions to fashion and Atlanta sound will definitely be appreciated. As far as the lingo, too, man. He added a lot of lingo into the game as well, man. But with that, man, y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment sections. And oh yeah, peace and condolences to young Scooter's family and all his friends and everybody who he might have touched in life as he was going through this process of doing his thing in the music industry. And with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.